it's finished. Well, mostly. I gotta clip the ends of those cable ties there and put the nozzle daily on there that goes inside the filler on the truck. So let's give a little walk around here. We'll go in the order that the oil goes through. So again, the oil goes in the big tank thing. I can leave it sitting there. Usually I fill it up and I'm gonna let it settle for a week if I can wait that long. With this improved system, I don't really have to, because it filters it down to 5 micron 2 times, because I bought another filter to be extra sure that's not gonna clog up my truck. So it goes in there, settles. I can drain off the settlage down there. A big difference that I noticed down here, this used to be black gross sludge. I'm not going to mix in this tank anymore. Since I have that 55-gallon drum that's out here, that one, just put all my oil in that and let it set long term. So then, so that happens, I can drain off of there if I notice anything in that little sight tube down there. That's why I made it all clear so I could see the quality of the oil as it goes through the process. I put a sock turned inside out so you get the fuzzies on the outside, and it's going to collect more material on that strainer in there. Zip tied it on. So that comes out here, goes through this isolation valve in case I want to work on this area or have a blowout or something, I can isolate it. So that goes down there into the pumping tower. When that valve is open, and that valve is open because otherwise there'll be air bubble trapped in there. So when both those valves are open and this other one, the outlet is shut, the oil level rises inside the pumping tower to match the level in the tank. Something I'll probably do, an upgrade. I'll put in like a T connection there and then put another piece of clear pipe on the outside, and then put another T up there so it can connect it. I'll probably cut this whole thing off because it's glued, and then put another one on there and make that whole connection. And then I want to put a wider air bleeder. I'll probably put a separate air vent valve so it can vent faster, because I noticed the air coming out of here is very slow, and if the air coming out of there is very slow, it won't fill up as quickly. So the goal to this is speed. I want to be able to pump it down, change the valve lineup, and it fills back up like that fast. That's what I would like. And it does make cool air noises, and what man doesn't like cool air noises? These are the clamps that I built. They're pretty quality. I'm glad I did it. I did go with I put that little piece of scrap rubber that I had in there. In each one they each have scrap rubber, and then the ones that clamp on there have a little strip in there too. So you can see how these are made. Just I used the air nailer to clamp them in place, and then put some screws in there to make sure that the nails wouldn't come out. This is a piece of all thread, and then wing nuts with a big fat washer. And then so I used 2 on the pumping tower, 1 on that filtration tower with the wood in it. Okay, so we're going through the process. The oil fills up. Once it's full and matched to that level, which that's why I want to put it in the sight gauge so that I know that it's full, and I can monitor where the oil is, because I don't want to get air into the system. It'll still pump the air through, but I don't necessarily want the air in there. So I would like to see how low the oil is and then shut it off. That way I'm not pushing air in there. So you have to shut this valve. You want to shut this air connector so you don't get full blast from your air compressor. Connect your air compressor, open the outlet valve, and then slowly bleed in air. Make sure that you're not doing full force. You don't want to shock the system and blow off one of these. And to protect from that, I did double hose clamps on there to make sure that it's on there good and tight. It's not going to come off. There's no oil that's going to leak out. And even still, there's some that I notice is dripping in one spot. Okay, so, yep, this valve is open. We are applying air. The oil goes down and out this way, because this one is closed. It can't go back up. Right now it's filling. That's why this is open. And why that is open. Inline is open. Perpendicular handle means it's shut. So right now it's filling. So that would be open. That one would be shut. Air would be applied. Pumping tower pumps down. Oil comes through here. Another isolation valve just in case I need to work on this area. That's my drain trap spout there. I can bust out the sludge. Inside there's a stainless steel Brillo pad to keep the wood chips in, or the wood in here. So it goes through the wood. Test plug did hold against the pressure. I'm running about 50 pounds right now, and it's sufficient. 50 pounds is sufficient. It really pushes. So the oil comes up through the wood filter, through the little sock dealie in there from my other video, spills over the top. Excuse the mess. I just got done working on this and I'm really proud, and I want to show you guys. So it comes through there, through this other isolation valve to isolate these two filters for when I want to change them out. I just shut this. Drain out as much as I can, open it up, get a bucket, collect everything. These are both 5 micron filters for redundancy, because I'm in the Navy and we love redundancy. So it goes through here in the clear housing. About clear housings, I don't know if you really need it. I don't think, I already have this one and it works. If this ever breaks and I have to replace it, I'm not going to go with a clear housing. If I have decreased flow with pressure applied, I know that I'm going to have to change my filters. Maybe I could switch these so that I can see how well the filter is working. I just wanted to get it done, and I didn't expect to have to ever do that. If I'm sticking the thing in there and there's like 30 pounds applied and it's not pushing through, I don't want to max these out and blow them up or anything, or any other part of my system. So I'm going to keep it, very, very low, like less than 50 pounds of pressure. So it goes through this filter, it gets filtered down to 5 micron, some stuff settles out in here, and then it goes through this one and does the same thing, extra clean, and then comes up through this hose. And then I have my, and again I said I need to put the end on this. But this is my little gas pump, and there's going to be a dealie that comes off of here, just a little piece of pipe that I can stick into the spout, so that when I turn it on, it's not going to just pop out of the truck. Again, I did try it out, and it does work really well. You'll notice these hoses are different. If you have the money, go with braided hose. It's rated for higher pressure. It's stronger because it has the cotton webbing in there. I don't think it's not braided. It's like web cord hose or something. They make like a cotton fiber net, and then they shoot the plastic around it, so it gives it more tensile strength. It's not going to just blow out. The one thing I wasn't satisfied on the outlet here, on my old pumpy dealie, this hose is really stiff now. It was nice and squishy and malleable, and now it's stiff and brittle. It definitely got affected by the stuff that was going through it. But this is what it did, and I wasn't too pleased with that. It really gave me a bunch of head loss there. You can see how tight that crimps. It's pretty much like bending a garden hose in half. Like that's stopping your flow. And even though it's straightened out, it won't retake its form. So that's why I stopped going with this hose, at least for this part, and went with the braided hose. It's much more flexible. It holds its form. If you can afford it, it's more expensive. Go with that for this whole system, just because it's a better material. But the clear stuff does work. I think it's 1.25 inch tubing that I used. If I ever have a blowout, I know that that's a weak point, and I'm going to replace it with this braided hose in that size. If I can find it. It's kind of hard to find it in that size. You might have to special order it, but it's worth it. So yeah, that's pretty much the overview. Here's the back side of one of my pipe clamps. That's what that looks like. To get them on there, it was pretty difficult because they keep wanting to falling down. You have to prop them up some way, and then once I got them propped up and squeezed together, I used a green strap. It's basically like, well, let's see if I have it around here. Where is it? Here's one hanging up. I used one of these guys. Looks like that. Just to clamp it in place temporarily until I could get it screwed down. That's definitely the way to go. I haven't used it on the truck yet. This unit, I haven't used this unit on the truck yet, but I'm about to. Oh, the oil on the floor. All that is because I overfilled it and I didn't plug that off yet. So I need to figure out some way to plug that. I might just ram a cork in there or something, a rubber stopper. I'm not going to use this hole. I don't really have any reason to. So I need to plug that off because it's kind of hard to tell when you're filling it, where it's going to start coming out, and then you're going to have a big mess. So I got to get that up. I'll use some like Dawn or something. Dish detergent before it gets too sticky. If you let it get sticky, then it turns into that really black hard stuff that, the only thing I found to get that up with is straight dishwasher detergent. So what else to say about this place and this thing? I think that's it. I'm gonna see if I can use it on the truck. I might make a video of that. I might, once I get the nozzle on there. So to do that, all I would have to do is take this thing and just roll it out. Well, I'd have to move my truck because the fuel thingy is on that side, and there's the end of the sidewalk. So I would just roll it out to the truck, plug it in, take my air compressor reel out to the truck, or out to the unit, so I can use the air hookup, plug it in, make sure my air compressor is bumped up. I would go no greater than 50 pounds. Make sure the valve is on, air is supplied, and then I control the air from the little air valve on the other side there. Let me show you why 50 pounds. So, I know, I'm looking at stuff like this. You can see there it says 40, right there, 40 to 100 Fahrenheit. Okay, so you don't want really hot stuff. And then 25 to 100 psi. So I can go up to 100 psi rated. Now things are rated so that they're never going to break. Okay, they're going to rate it at a temperature, a pressure that it's not going to fail. If you stay in that band, it's not designed to fail. The engineers designed it to work always and forever, and nothing lasts forever. But at that pressure, you're not going to have a blowout of your filter. You're not going to have a blowout or a crack and shit spraying out of the side. So stay in that band. Don't go above it. Could you? Yes, absolutely. You could go above that band. But you're not even going to see that much pressure on these two when you apply all that pressure on this side. If you apply 100 psi on that side, you have to understand it's got to go through these bends. It's got to go through all these pipes. It has to go through this filter and make that bend, and even the little edges inside of these valves cause head loss, and head loss over distance creates a pressure drop. So if it's at 100 pounds in the pumping tower, over here it's probably going to be about maybe 60 pounds or something to go through there, and then you're going to have the pressure drop across here, and then the pressure drop across there, and I would say there's probably like 5 pounds of pressure drop across there. So that's good. I definitely had everything open and tried to do it without pressure, just see if gravity would work. It did not work. I thought that it might with these bigger pipes and the less resistance. Gravity alone did not work. So the pumping tower, I was very impressed with it. It worked a little too well. So I'm gonna have to keep a close eye on it when I'm forcing pressure through here. Make sure all my valves are lined up so I don't have a blowout or anything. But it did work. It worked really well. I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with this whole thing. It's much better than my first two designs that were on this gross thing. I'm gonna hack this thing apart and light it on fire. That's what's happening to that. So that's all for now. I'll make a video, a separate video of pumping. I hope you guys have an outstanding day. I'm out.